Hello and welcome to the Poe-Cast. I'm Benjamin.
And I am cleaning.
Yes, Christopher's cleaning, and I'm eating a monkey that he gave me, and everything is good. And welcome to...
That's not a monkey, it's a muffin.
You called it a monkey when you handed it to me. He's like, hello, have this monkey. And I'm like, that's not a monkey.
I corrected myself before I actually said monkey.
And anyone who's actually listened to the first podcast, I'm actually here, sitting next to Christopher, and not 100 miles away over very bad cell reception and phone.
Yes, that was a bit dodgy.
It was very dodgy. Now I'm going to try this monkey. It's a good monkey. What kind of monkey is it?
It's got...
He's looking. The way he's looking at it has me kind of concerned now that I took a bite.
No, they're good. My mom made them. I just don't...
No, they're delicious.
What are those red things called?
I don't know.
I started to say cranberries, but they're not cranberries. I think they're raspberries.
That's a raspberry, but that's not. Okay. It's a good monkey.
It's a good monkey.
It's a monkey.
Good grief.
And Christopher is piling stuff in my lap. Literally. He comes downstairs and he hands me a copy of World War Z that I gave him, I don't know, 6 months ago?
Oh, it's gotta be 6 months ago, and I'm feeling bad that it's sitting on my shelf. I'll just buy the book.
And more stuff. Paint and
more
stuff for models.
Yes.
Yay!
So I have to show you the little head of the dude that I cut off, and later I'll go upstairs and get my
You decapitated another dude?
No, it's the little kid that I told you about.
Oh yeah, the little kid that Christopher killed.
It was for a good cause.
He's metal.
It's like the commissar.
He's a metal kid.
Yes, he's a little metal kid, but he lives on my standard bearer.
So you put his head on your standard bearer.
Are you just gonna leave that there? So it's going to be staring at me the whole show?
No, I'll probably put it back in the bag eventually.
Oh, okay.
But this is a good monkey. It's a good monkey. I'm sorry.
Okay. But anyway,
I'm gonna call a muffin a monkey from now on. It'll become a thing.
All right. So anyway, and old liquid green stuff.
Is this paint or is this wash?
It's green stuff.
Oh, it's literally green stuff.
It's literally green stuff. There's a reason why they call it green stuff. It's basically liquid modeling epoxy.
That is the most accurate description I've ever heard for anything.
Liquid green stuff.
This
Quite
is green
literally.
Stuff.
It's liquid green stuff.
No, I'm not kidding. Anyone who's wondering what it is, it's literally liquid green stuff.
Yeah, it's modeling epoxy in a liquid
And it also
form.
says that on the label.
Yes, it is actually called liquid green stuff. But granted, we've got all kinds of weird names like Kislev Flesh and Abaddon Black and
bunch of other things.
Ceramite White and Imperial Primer.
Anyways, on to the Poe-Cast.
On to the Poe-Cast. Where shall we begin?
I don't know. We have a lot of things we were talking about today because, to be honest, I wasn't actually sure it was going to turn out that I was going to be able to come over.
Yeah.
So then we ended up talking about everything we said we weren't going to talk about to the Poe-Cast, but we'll do our best to talk about it again.
We'll talk about it again.
We'll just talk about it and forget it. Actually, we'll start it off. How did you enjoy World War Z as much as you read about it? Now, for people who don't know what World War Z is, it's actually a very interesting book. I've never been a fan of zombie stuff, much to probably people's disbelief, but it's not a horror story. It's actually like a fake what if. The story is following a news reporter this is about 10 years after a zombie apocalypse has broken out, and he's going around interviewing different people from their perspective on what happened during this zombie apocalypse. You know, government shutdown stuff. It completely looks at a zombie apocalypse from a political standpoint, what happens in different cultures, etc. when this happens. Like, he interviews some people from China when it first starts, a medical doctor. He even interviews an astronaut who was stuck in the International Space Station during the whole... I think he was up there for 4 years during the 10-year war.
That would be really fascinating.
Oh, it was. I'm not even going to spoil it for you. It was really sad. They even discuss, like... They go to this old dog canine unit retirement farm because they had to retrain their canine dog units to combat the zombies and use them for recon stuff. And there's also following a bunch of military defects that took a submarine and went AWOL with their families living off of submarine for about 2 years. It's incredible. I mean, I just love how it wasn't, oh my gosh, he neared around the corner and there was a horde dripping blood from their mouths as they walked forth in thirst. It's just like, yeah, no, I'm okay. But this was a very interesting, good read. Intelligent read. There we go. It was a good, intelligent read.
It it's still jarring me a little bit, the kind of interview style novel. It's a very unique way of telling a story.
Mm-hmm. Very different too.
Yeah, so
I mean, it was a little rough for me at the beginning.
So I haven't really gotten into it. What I'm actually thinking I'm going to do is, when I get time, when will we ever get that?
That's not a thing for either one of us.
No, I know it's not. But when I get the time, I'm actually going to go find the movie, watch the movie.
See, I haven't watched the movie yet because they've said that the movie... Now, this is going to be completely biased on my end, but I'm still planning on watching it for anyone who's going to call me biased. Apparently, the movie is completely from one person's perspective. A family who's not even interviewed in the book. I think it's during the Battle of Yonkers.
As far as I know, that is correct.
But Yonkers
and what I'm not... And see, but the thing is that I'm not saying that it's like the equal of the book, or a replacement for the book, but it will give me a frame of reference within which to understand this kind of esoteric book. And also, I think what I really should do is, instead of reading it, I should get the audiobook, which I believe actually has a cast of characters for everybody. And kind of listening to it as an audio documentary would be, I think, a better way of experiencing it than just reading the novel. Anyway, so...
Christopher, you know what time it is?
Oh, no.
Orky time! Dum, 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 dum. Orks. Orky stuff.
Cool orc stuff.
Ooh, that's a... Oh my gosh.
Where's the airplane? He's got an airplane here.
Airplane? There's an airplane? Ooh, ew, I don't like that. I'm an orc and I don't even like that. That's almost too orky for me.
I never thought I'd hear that.
Oh, there's plenty of things. Remember that idea I got earlier with Warboss Fragbutt and, like, taking a bunch of commissar hats and nailing them to his warbike? That was an orky idea, but it was too much even for me.
No, see, I think that would look really cool. I think it would also be extremely expensive.
Yes. To describe orcs, or somehow something is orky, imagine the most stupidest, impractical thing, but is still slightly effective. That's orky.
You know what? This would be a good time for you to actually give a definition of orcs, who they are, their culture. Just, what is an orc?
What is an orc? Orcs are big, mean, green fighting machines. Literally. Their entire culture revolves around war. And by most races, they are also considered the perfect culture because they have a caste system.
Yeah.
So they always know who's in charge, and if they decide to challenge who's in charge, it's easily decided because whoever's stronger is going to win, and it'll continue on. And they have the perfect currency system. Orcs regrow their teeth, like sharks, almost a little faster, so they use their teeth as currency. Now, they can't hoard the teeth up because the teeth eventually decay, and about the same time it takes an orc to regrow his teeth. So there's a constant monetary value for their currency.
What do they use the teeth for?
To buy stuff. It's like...
No, but after you buy stuff, what do they use the teeth for?
They have it so they can buy more stuff until it rots away. And then they're out of money. Which is just how it goes. Tough luck.
Okay.
But orcs are,
You'll excuse me if I don't quite think that actually works. But
orcs are essentially the biker gangs of this futuristic fantasy world.
In Warhammer 40k.
In Warhammer
40,000.
40k, yeah. I mean, they wear leather jackets, they have guns, they ride motorcycles, they have machine guns.
Why do you like orcs?
Because of their I don't even know how to say this word. Impracticality?
Impracticality.
Impracticality. And because of their impracticality, it's just ridiculous.
And you think it's funny, therefore
it's so much fun. It's so funny, I play it. And every orc has more disadvantages than they have advantages in their keywords. And it's just so stinking funny.
Yeah, because I mean, I've noticed this. In your world building, you give a lot more attention to your dwarves. Your dwarves are really your babies.
The dwarves are really my babies.
But you don't particularly like the flavor of dwarves in Warhammer Fantasy, and they don't appear in Warhammer 40k, and you kind of liked the futuristic
I like the futuristic more than the medieval. I really wish they'd bring the dwarves to the futuristic, and they'd make the dwarves more than just a head with a beard and a pair of arms and legs. They need a body.
Yeah. Where is... I did not imagine this.
I'm sure you... Didn't you say he was on a video? Well, what is... Oh, that's an Eldar. Yeah, Eldar stuff.
It's
Dark Eldar
somewhere
stuff.
in here, I swear.
Ooh, it's a Stompa! Nama! A Stompa is a giant...
There it is!
Abomination.
There it is.
A giant... Oh, what the bleep is that? That looks like a... I don't even know what... That's very orky. It's the fattest fighter jet you could ever imagine. That is the only way I can describe it. With the biggest bomb. Like, the bomb is almost as big as the fighter itself.
The bomb is literally as big as the fighter.
Yes. And it's belching smoke out the engines. Oh my gosh. And the orc is just barely peering over the top of the canopy. Barely. And orcs are huge.
So, like I said, it's that looks completely scratch built to me.
You know, that is scratch built. I thought you were talking about something else.
No.
There was a video where a guy, he bought an orc Daka jet, which Daka jets come with 3 different kinds of pieces. Mm-hmm. So you can make it a Daka jet, which is really shooty, or a bomber jet, which is a bomber, or a burner bomber, which is flamethrowers and napalm bombs, essentially. So he made a bomber, and then he went and bought I believe correct me if I'm wrong, someone can yell at me, it's an Fu-4 Corsair naval plane used during World War II, a model.
That's the
yeah, it's a propeller.
serial number that you keep giving
That's the serial number. I just know they're called Corsairs is the real code word.
I mean, unless you've been wrong,
unless I've been
every
wrong,
time you've said it, then I think you're right.
Yeah. But he bought like a 1/34th scale model of that.
That's cool.
Which, a Daka jet, by the way, is about $40. And the model plane he bought was about $5. So he took that, he chopped it up, and he added all the extra bits for the Daka jet on. And he also ripped off the propeller of the original Corsair. And he got a Defcopter propeller and put it on the front. So he essentially had a propeller Daka plane. And it was pretty amazing. Some of these are really old. A lot of the older stuff looks really weird.
Oh, this is old.
To describe, there is a orc dune buggy, and the wheels, if they were real size, like 2 scale, have to be 10 feet tall. Have to be 10 feet tall. That's like a monster truck back wheel.
They've got like blades on the axles.
Yeah. I mean, the wheels are huge. Oh, wait, that's a grot. I mean, but still.
Look at that.
Huge.
Tell me if that isn't some type of Lego or Lego clone.
Wait, hold on. That... Actually, you're right. Those might be Creo blocks or something.
I swear, I mean, okay, so those could be anything, but just look at the wheels and look at those.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Those look like a Lego clone.
You're right. No, you're right. You're
Making
different. Oh my gosh, look at that right there. That's a Duplo block head.
That is a Duplo block. Oh my goodness.
So you can really use anything to make these things. And
that is crazy.
And since orcs are so junky, you can literally do anything with it.
I don't even see it's even the correct colors. Man, that's insane.
I like that truck. That is a very nice truck.
That's pretty cool.
It's essentially a truck, except they ripped off every single back wheel and put tank treads on them.
I really like the use of the netting. That's pretty cool.
It's almost like the wire stuff. Mesh. Orky stuff.
Is that an orc fort? That is an orc fort.
That is an orc fort. An orc fort.
Orc fort.
Orc fort.
So, what was the orky thing that you didn't like?
What was that?
Oh.
I don't like this little thingy on the side. It's like it looks like a truck with really cool guns, and it's very.
What?
The front of the truck. The front of the truck literally looks like they put a chair and a board in front of it. The boarding plank looks like a plank, You're walking the plank, jump off the truck. Well, we're driving across the land, sir. Get off my truck! And they just throw him off, make him walk off the plank as they're driving at 100 miles per hour.
Granted, no, they're really driving over 100 miles
actually,
per hour.
That description made me kind of like it. Just a little bit. Well, this poor little grot, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing nothing, being so honest. You stole me bag of teeth. You stole me lucky gold tooth. I didn't swear it honest. What's that you got behind your back? Nothing. Walk off the plank. No, sir, please. Oh! Go get me, lucky tooth boy. Stop the truck. The brakes are broken, sir. Ah!
Okay, so let's do Space Hulks now.
Space Hulks. Oh yeah, Orky Space Hulks. We were talking about oh gosh, what was it? Campaign battle, and like what it would be like to do rules where if a unit died in 40K, which is the strategy game, you would actually remove that piece from the game and never use it again the entirety of the campaign. So essentially, losing your units would actually have an impact. So let's say you started with 30 troops, and then the battle you lost 5. That means the next battle you only have 25 troops. Etc., etc. If you lose a commander, that means you don't have the commanding bonuses, etc.
Then you're in a lot of trouble.
But then we're like, hey, since this is a space universe, we'd have to include the Battlefield Gothic, which is kind of the space version of the game with all their giant battle cruisers and stuff. And the Orks ships are really cool, and I like them and all. But I was like, oh yeah, Orks use Space Hulks. And Christopher's like, what's a Space Hulk? And I was like, well, a Space Hulk would put the Executor to shame. Now, if any non-nerdy geeks out there, the Executor is Darth Vader's personal Super Star Destroyer in Episode 5 and 6. So it's bigger than that.
Empire and Jedi.
Yes. So a Space Hulk, actually if you want to look up a picture you can see, they're butt ugly. Essentially take a ship, turn it into a skeleton ship, and it eventually, is a piece of wreck floating in space. As it goes, different ships and scraps of ships start melting onto it and just becoming part of it, etc. And even space rocks. And this just keeps happening until it's this ginormous piece of junk, but it still has the components of all these different ships.
Because it got magnetized.
Yeah, because it got magnetized. It just keeps adding on. So it's essentially building itself completely.
Insane.
And it randomly decides, and I will use Star Wars terms, randomly decides to jump to light speed on its own. Cannot be controlled. Just goes boing, boing, and pops in. Now, essentially, one of these Space Hulks will warp, and it'll appear above an Ork planet, and the Orks will be like, yay! And actually, I'll let Christopher say this, because it was funny when he said it. You remember what you said? This giant, massive hulk of space, all these Orks look up, and they see it in the orbit, and they're like, oh.
All of a sudden, we see this mobile asteroid junkyard. It literally looks like an asteroid made of junk.
I actually hadn't seen a picture of someone's custom built, but that is awesome. I love it.
Man, that must have taken them forever.
I know, but
anyway,
still.
This asteroid of junk appears in the sky, and they say, "It is our salvation. We shall follow it to death and glory and battle across the universe!" And that's pretty much exactly what they do. They activate their tractor beams, spelled T-R-A-K-T-O-R, beams, B-E-E-M-S, and they pull it in, and they slap every working gun on it they can. They put power generators on it and try to wire it to the guns that actually do work on the Space Hulk. They get their asteroid rocks, which are spaceships. They've essentially taken asteroids, carved them hollow, put engines on them and guns on them, and they load up every single piece of machine, war machine, troops, everything they have on the planet, and they load it up in the Space Hulk, and they bring their battle fleet with them, and the battle fleet escorts this Space Hulk, and then the Space Hulk just jumps to light speed, and all the other stuff follow it. And then some poor unsuspecting planet just sitting having a peaceful day in the universe, and then this giant monstrosity drops out. And then the Orks go to work, having fun, in their own orky way. That's actually a really cool battle fleet Christopher's looking at right now. I think it's Chaos.
Cool. Is that Chaos?
I think it looks Chaos. It looks like something Chaos would have.
Gotta say, though, yeah, because of those skulls on there.
Yeah,
but
of course the Emperor has skulls.
Cut the skulls off, but these angular ships look gorgeous.
They do. I mean,
much better.
Spaceships in Warhammer 40K really look like Gothic era castles. I mean, it's kind of Gothic styled architecture. Literally, I mean architecture.
Yeah.
They look like floating castles combined with spaceships, and it's really beautiful. I like that. I like that one kind of. Bismarck! It's going to Bismarck, that is! Look at the rocket launcher on that thing! Oh my gosh. That is a construction cone. Ha! That is a toy construction cone they put on that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And batteries. That's battery pack. And Legos. Once again, proof you can do anything you want.
Where are the Legos? Where?
Right there.
There?
You had your cursor on them. No. Oh no, that's a sleeve button. That's a sleeve button. That's a stinking sleeve button.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, these. Okay, we're geeking out way too much now. That is stinking beautiful. It's so wookie. I love it. I want to have it for me own.
Oh, hey, there's parts of Space Marine shit.
I know. I see it. Okay, literally, this looking at a Space Hulk is like what's it called? I Spy. It's like the game I Spy.
Yeah.
Look, there is a miniature version of a battle wagon turret. There's a tank from the mini game. There's a ammo magazine from a big shooter. Oh my gosh.
You know all this stuff. I mean, I wouldn't know this because
Well, it's because I've been staring at bits. Oh my gosh, they have a def roller. That's a def roller thing. Okay, we have to get off of this because I will be so sidetracked. Oh, what is that? That's beautiful.
I don't know, but it's gorgeous.
It's a castle.
It's like a castle display case.
It's a giant castle for miniatures, like super minis. It's really
That's
beautiful.
cool.
It has like a pit of lava in the center of it.
Actually, I'm not sure that's lava. That looks like
Ew.
septic waste.
Okay. Orky time's over with. I am declaring Orky time over
Okay.
because this has been so much orkiness.
There has been a lot of orkiness.
A lot of orkiness this time.